Good evening and welcome to the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House in the Green City in the Sun, Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Edmund Mudibo, and top in this bulletin,
watu wakikosa kuheshimu sheria wanafanya maandamano, wanaharibu mali ya wengine, wanachoma biashara ya wengine, wanaharibu sifa ya nchi yetu. Maisha inapotea. Haya ndio mambo lazima tukomeshe kama wananchi.
President William Ruto warns the opposition against fueling lawlessness.
Katiba inafinya hapa na pale, nataka kurekebisha, kupiga msasa. Hiyo ndio sababu mimi nimesema wakati tena imewadia wa Kenya kuzungumza.
ODM leader Raila Odinga urges the youth to opt for constitutional review to address emerging issues.
Hatuna namna yoyote, ni tu shamba ndio tunategemea. Tafadhali rais, fanya hutu, ukuwe na roho ya hekima. Utusimamie ili mashini isifungwe, tupate kukatiwa mimi.
And Ken farmers are up in arms over the 3-month suspension of milling. Thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has launched a scathing attack on the opposition, accusing it of attempting to destabilize the government and undermine the constitution. Speaking in Migori County, Kindiki warned that Kenya will not tolerate political lawlessness as he defended President William Ruto's leadership and economic track record. Kamche Menza has the details.
Ile Rais William Ruto amechaguliwa kama rais, hauchumi haukukuwa mahali huko saa hii.
Addressing residents of Gokaharaka in Kuria West, Migori County, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki spared no words in condemning what he termed as sustained attempts by the opposition to overthrow the government.
We cannot sit back and allow Kenya to descend into anarchy because of power-hungry politicians who want shortcuts to power. It is not going to be possible.
Kindiki accused the opposition of promoting ethnic divisions and that their actions were not only divisive but also a blatant abuse of constitutional values.
Wengine walikuwa na viti kubwa serikalini, they misused their time in office. Sasa wanahangaika huko nje wakitupatia ma lecture. Na sisi we don't want to waste our time. Sisi na Kitayama na hii group tukiongozwa na William Ruto tunataka kukazana kwa sababu mambo ya uongozi ni mambo ya muda, sio mambo ya milele.
The Deputy President further alleged interference in the affairs of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, accusing opposition leaders of undermining key democratic institutions for selfish political gains.
Naona wengine wameanza kuwapiga wale makamishna. Ukiona mchezaji anashambulia referee, huyo mchezaji ajui kusakata boli. They have sensed defeat. Now they are trying to attack the referee.
Leaders who accompanied the DP echoed the warnings, calling out opposition leaders for what they termed as reckless statements, suggesting they could assume power before the 2027 general election.
Kwa hivyo wale wakora wako pale Nairobi wanajikusanya kila siku pale Moi Avenue na kusema ati wanataka kwenda State House kutoa Rais William Ruto. Hiyo sio taifa letu la Kenya.
The leader's remarks come amid rising political temperatures. Kamche Menza for the Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has dismissed Raila Odinga's calls for a national dialogue to solve the country's challenges, saying such dialogues, including the bipartisan talks done in the past, have gone without producing tangible results. Speaking to Kenyans living in Seattle, Washington State in the US, Gachagua said Raila took advantage of the Gen Z protests to join the government and should therefore not be trusted.
That line of thinking about dialogue is being brought by Raila. Raila is totally irrelevant in the Kenyan political discourse. Because every election cycle, he loses, he finds his way into government. He wants to be in government, but he doesn't want responsibility. Yeah? He is there, but somebody else takes the flak. And I think it's good. We cannot keep on having situations and people talk. You know, Raila has been in every dialogue, but the problems of Kenya do not end.
And Raila Odinga, ODM leader, says constitutional review is the way to go to align the laws to the emerging or challenging times. Raila argues that the youth should be able to seize the moment and push for the amendment of the constitution to cure the economic and governance ills for a better nation. He has also opposed the order given to the police to immobilize looters and armed protesters, saying the law must be followed to the letter. Giverson Minor reports.
Speaking during a burial ceremony in Bomet County, the former Prime Minister sustained his calls for national dialogue to end the recurring demos by the Gen Zs.
Wakati mewadia wa Kenya kuketi chini na kuzungumza.
Raila said the conclave should be composed of at least 40 people from each county, with 50% being the youth.
Wazee wawe ndani yake, walemavu wawe ndani yake, civil society wawe ndani yake.
While opposing the shoot to maim orders, the ODM leader said the dialogue should start as early as next month to prevent a repeat of the demos. Raila suggested that amending the constitution is the answer to the country's governance and economic challenges.
Kuna hapa pali, hiyo katiba inafinya hapa na pali. Nataka kurekebisha, kupiga msasa. Hiyo ndio sababu mimi nimesema wakati tena imewadia wa Kenya kuzungumza.
He also hit back at the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, saying he lacks ideas to transform the country.
Hakuna tofauti ataleta. Tunataka tupige msasa tena. Kwa sababu mimi nimesema tunataka watu wakumuze.
This follows Gachagua's remarks that Raila has lost his political relevance. Giverson Minor, Legends Edition.
Eight people died following a grisly road accident that occurred at Kijauri town along the Sotik-Keroka highway in Nyamira County on Friday evening. 8 others who sustained serious injuries are receiving treatment in various hospitals within Borabu constituency. The accident happened when a truck ferrying tea factory logs from Sotik overturned, crashing into vehicles and shops.
The residents of Kijauri town of Borabu sub-county in Nyamira County had their morning interrupted by horrific scenes. 9 people lost their lives along the Sotik-Keroka highway when a truck ferrying tea factory logs overturned at a steep section of the road. It then crashed into vehicles and shops. Eyewitnesses cited the section as a black spot.
Hii barabara imekuwa ikisababisha accident mara kwa mara. Hakuna hata pumps. Na watu wenye wanakaa kwa barabara wachalipu kukaa makini.
Tumekasirika tena vibaya sana. Mandapo tunaweza fanya anytime from now. Watu wanauawa kama umbwa. Mimi wao wameuawa ni makastoma zangu. Nanunua maziwa hapo, nanunua mboga hapo.
The residents also blamed they had just an open-air market, which they say attracts a lot of people near the road, hence posing the danger of many people being injured when an accident occurs.
Mambo na pamsi hata wakiweka yesi tusaidia. Kitu ya muhimu hii soko itoke hapa iende huko. Kama soko ingekuwa huko, hii ajali watu hawangekufa venye wamekufa tu hivi saa hii. Soko inafaa kufunguliwa huko chini tangu itengenezwe, it's almost 1 year inaenda kuisha. Bado haijafunguliwa. People they are suffering here, wanastrain kuuzia vitu mpaka karibu kwa barabara hapa hivi.
The bodies of the deceased have been moved to Gucha mortuary. Speaking to KBC on phone, Borabu Sub-County Police Boss Christopher Wasonga said that 8 others who sustained serious injuries are receiving treatment in various hospitals within Borabu Sub-County, while 3 who sustained light injuries were treated and discharged. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
Cooperatives are being called upon to embrace digital tools, enforce strong governance, and form strategic partnerships to boost their revenues. Speaking during the 103rd Ushirika Day celebrations at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi lauded the cooperative movement as vital in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and a strategic pillar of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Kenya joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day of Cooperatives, dubbed Ushirika Day, amidst calls to embrace digital tools, the enforcement of strong governance, and the formation of strategic partnerships. Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya announcing the Cooperatives Bill 2024, SACCO Act amendments such as Deposit Guarantee Fund to secure savings, Central Liquidity Fund for SACCO stability, shared digital platform to enhance efficiency, and a commitment to full digitization for improved accountability as reforms and innovation to strengthen the sector.
As you are aware, the SACCO Societies Act was enacted in the year 2008. And between 2008 and now, there has been so many changes in that environment. And as a ministry, we are initiating amendments in that particular act to make sure that it complies with the current trends within the movement.
We have placed deliberate focus on revitalizing key agricultural value chains by supporting the creation of new cooperatives where they are needed and strengthening existing ones to boost their effectiveness and productivity.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi stated the government's commitment to recover misappropriated funds in the Kenya Union Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies scandal and hold culprits to account in its determination to restore integrity and dignity in this sector.
My administration will pursue the recovery of misappropriated funds and hold to account those found culpable in full accordance with the law.
Among ongoing initiatives is the ward-based cooperative model for grassroots inclusion and a 4.5 billion shillings revolving fund to support SACCOs and value chains through the National Agriculture Value Chain Development Project to increase market participation and value addition for targeted farmers in selected value chains. For the SACCOs showcasing here today, government support goes a long way in ensuring the success of the sector.
We are working closely with the government to ensure that the SACCO sector has improved in governance and in other sectors. And we have seen a great growth in terms of our performance, and our members have received services that are really of value.
All Kenyans of goodwill to think of SACCO movement. If you have never joined the SACCO, you are losing out.
Yusufar reporting for the Legends edition.
Well, it's 10 minutes past the hour. It's time for our very first break. Stay with us. Plenty more on the other side.
Wizara ya Afya inazindua kampeni ya chanjo ya homa ya matumbo na ukambi na surua kuanzia tarehe 5 hadi 14 Julai mwaka wa 2025. Watoto walio kati ya miezi 9 hadi miaka 14 watapewa chanjo ya homa ya matumbo. Watoto walio kati ya miezi 9 hadi miaka 5 watapewa chanjo ya ukambi na surua. Chanjo hizi ni salama na wahudumu wetu wa afya watapatikana katika vituo vyote vya afya, mashule, masoko na vyumba vya maombi karibu nawe. Homa ya matumbo ni hatari na ni muhimu kuendelea kuzingatia usafi wa maji na kanuni za usafi hata baada ya kupokea chanjo. Ukambi ni ugonjwa unaosambaa haraka na unaweza kusababisha matatizo makubwa mwilini na hata kifo. Chanjo dhidi ya ukambi hutoa kinga thabiti. Tuwalinde watoto wetu. Hakikisha wamepata chanjo hii. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Wizara ya Afya ikishirikiana na UNICEF na Shirika la Afya Duniani.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. Hundreds of sugarcane farmers in Busia County are pleading with the government to reverse the decision to halt sugar milling for 3 months. The Kenya Sugar Board announced the suspension, citing a shortage of mature cane, but farmers on the ground say otherwise.
The fields of Busia are green with mature cane, ready for harvest. But for farmers like these, the Kenya Sugar Board's latest directive feels cruel.
Hasara yenye naweza pata viwanda vikifungwa sahi ni zaidi ya shilingi 1,150.
Hatuna namna yoyote. Ni hii tu shamba ndio tunategemea.
Starting July 14th, sugar factories in Busia, Kakamega and Bungoma counties will fall silent. The Kenya Sugar Board says there simply isn't enough mature cane to keep operations going. But farmers say the shutdown is unnecessary.
That decision was reached, if you asked me, without any kind of research to go to the farmers to establish whether they have cane or not.
7 factories across the region are affected by the 3-month closure. Nambale Member of Parliament Geoffrey Mulanya castigated the move, saying it lacked public participation.
Tunataka kusukumane nao, mimi nitawatafuta tukae tuelewane, tuhakikishe kwamba zile miwa ambazo ziko kwa shamba na ziko tayari, wawakubalie wakuje wakate miwa ndio wakulima wetu wapate pesa mfukoni.
Mariambo reporting for the Legends Edition.
Well, there is nothing like Legends Edition without sports news. And our very own Daniel Wahome is on site. Daniel Wahome, over to you.
Thank you very much, Edmund. And let's get with some good news from last night from Monaco, where Olympic champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi cruised to his third 800 meters victory of the season at the Hakula Diamond League on Friday night in Monaco, posting a world lead and meeting record of 1 minute 41.44 seconds. The win extended Wanyonyi's lead to 30 points and is well on course to retain his Diamond League trophy at the end of the season.
Fabulous run, the Algerian. Emmanuel Wanyonyi was too fast at the Monaco Diamond League, winning the 800 meters ahead of Howie Josh of the United States and Sejati Jamel of Algeria, who were second and third respectively. 41.44. It is the fastest time. Edmund Serem was third in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, clocking 8 minutes 04.00 seconds, finishing behind Ryuji Miura of Japan, who was second, and winner Sofiane El Bakali of Morocco.
Nelly Chepchirchir, I mentioned on the start line, she's undefeated this year.
Nelly Chepchirchir won their 1,000 meters in 2 minutes 29.77 seconds, beating Wiley Addison of the United States and Jessica Hull of Australia, who were second and third respectively. The 5,000 meters was disastrous for the lone Kenyan athlete Jacob Krop, who could only settle for 9th position in the race won by Yomif Kajalcha of Ethiopia.
It's going to be just outside, as Faith Yegon has been in the last couple of years, but Chepchirchir gets under 2:30, a phenomenal run.
From the Mediterranean coast, we come back home, where Kenya Pipeline women's volleyball team will meet KCB in the finals of the inaugural Kenya Cup tomorrow at the Kasarani Indoor Arena. The National Women's League champions beat DCI in straight sets of 26-24, 25-15 and 26-24 in a hard-fought semi-final encounter and a rematch of the National League finals. KCB, who were the former league champions, held their nerve against a determined Kenya Prison side before they managed to overcome them. 3-2 in the first semi-finals. They lost the first 2 sets, 18-25 and 23-25, before they recovered to win the remaining sets, 25-18, 25-22 and 15-4, to book their final spot against Kenya Pipeline. In the men's finals, Kenya Defence Forces were also made to sweat by Kenya Ports Authority before they overcame them by 3 sets, 2 of 24-26, 25-23, 23-25, 33-31 and 19-17 to progress to the final.
On a low note, we lost the first 2 sets, but I'm happy with my team. We re-strategized and we came back stronger and managed to take the last 3 sets. Our weaknesses in the first set was somehow reception, but we managed to control it and we were good to go.
This is now becoming stronger. Based on this match, I think we are a better team right now, so we have nothing to worry about. Last time we finished number 3, but now we have gone a step ahead to the finals.
Unastahili, umecheza, you are the best player of the.
And Haramstars local-based players entered day 2 of their residential camp at the Kasarani Stadium. The team of 29 players is preparing for their first appearance at the next month's African Nations Championship CHAN, which will be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1. The championship will be co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania between the 2nd and 30th of August. The squad will be trimmed down to a final squad of 23 players who will compete in the biennial football tournament. Haramstars will get the CHAN tournament underway on the 3rd of next month against 2-time champions DR Congo at the Kasarani Stadium before taking on Angola 4 days later. Kenya will play Morocco on the 10th of August before winding up their Group A assignment against Zambia on the 17th of August next month.
Follow through, second line. That line. Stay low as you're doing these actions. What of stability hapo chini. We go. Out. This one. Go. Stay low. Back his hands. Quickly, Jaman. Go.
Now, the KPA Ladies team are in command of the Kenya Basketball Federation Ladies Premier League after a victorious day where they beat Strathmore Swords by 73 points to 51 at the Makande Hall in Mombasa. In other results, Zit Expats, who were second in the Women's Premier League, beat Safe Spaces 62-42 in today's encounters. In the Division 1, Eagle Wings were beaten by ZU Development side 56-21 as Division 1 men's leaders. Mauritius consolidated their lead after a closely fought battle against Lakeside, whom they beat 58-55. Second-placed Snipers dropped points against Shoot for Life, who edged them 54-53. In Division 2, Kiptui Raptors beat Creeks 61-53. And more than 300 judokas from across Kenya converged at the Ruiru Prisons Training College today for the Kiambu County Judo League. The high-stakes event served as a crucial qualifier for the upcoming Africa Judo Games set to be held in Angola next week.
It was a display of strength, speed and technique as judokas from across the country faced off in the Kiambu County Judo League hosted at the Ruiru Prisons Training College. With over 300 competitors on the tatami, the event showcased Kenya's growing judo talent pool, with Felix Akoko unbeatable in the seniors event where he defeated James Wambua. Pius Sakala won the junior contest against Abel Mogusu as Rael Kulova overcame Jockey Glory in the cadets.
Niko imara kila siku, niko zoezi, napiga mara 3 kwa siku, ndio ningoje hiyo siku.
It's overwhelming and well, it shows how the sport has grown, and I'm so happy that the sport is gotten on its feet and it's growing very well.
The event brought together seasoned champions and rising stars, all driven by one dream of flying Kenyan flag on the continental stage.
Introducing judo to schools is one of the best things that is happening to us. Judo for schools is the best place where you can get young judokas freely without much intervention of the community, and also the facilities, because judo is a very expensive affair. In schools, they have balls, so what we need to take there is just tatamis, then have good rapport with the teachers, then we start the judo.
The tournament was organized by the Kenya Judo Federation in partnership with the local county authority, who want to boost grassroots development and national representation.
When I become the president of NOC, we are growing all the sports together because Kenya is a sporting nation. And I believe that we can do it better than the biggest nations.
For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And moving on is that former Kenya Cup champions Nondescripts Rugby Club impressed during the inaugural Rough and Tough Rugby Sevens Championship, which brought together 8 rugby community clubs as part of preparations for the upcoming National Sevens Circuit. Nondi's Hamad Mwamba 31-0 to claim victory.
8 community rugby clubs turned up for the inaugural Nondescripts Rough and Tough Championship, which is a precursor to the upcoming National Sevens Circuit. The host Nondis were in top form after thrashing Mwamba by 31-0.
Some reason or another, the kind of players that we are seeing making their way to the national team are predominantly coming from the professional clubs. And we really wanted to showcase that the community clubs can produce the talent.
The level of competition is really top-notch. We've seen a lot of competitiveness of the clubs. This is an exhibition that the clubs have been preparing, of course, for the bigger task ahead to come.
In another match, Impala Saracens beat USIU 28-12. Attention now shifts to the upcoming National Sevens Circuit, which is slated for 26th and 27th in Mombasa with the Driftwood Sevens. Reporting for Legends Edition from Ngong Racecourse, my name is Frederick Mwoki.
Thank you, Freddie Mwoki, for that story. Now, the national rugby team, the Kenya Simbas, are gearing up for a crucial Rugby Africa Cup semi-final against Zimbabwe, set to take place tomorrow at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Nambole, Uganda, as Algeria plays Namibia in the same venue in the other semi-final. Kenya advanced to the semi-finals after a hard-fought 32-24 victory over host Uganda. Head coach Jerome Pavwota has announced the match day squad for the upcoming clash, making only one change to the team that defeated Uganda, with Derek Kashiundu returning to the lineup in place of Timothy Omela. Both Kenya and Zimbabwe have each won the Rugby Africa Cup twice. Kenya won the 2011 and 2013 titles, while Zimbabwe won the 2012 and most recently the 2024 title. Assistant coach Carlos Katiwa expressed confidence in the team's preparation, noting that they are approaching the semi-final with the intensity of a final. The Simbas are aiming for a strong performance as they push forward in their campaign to qualify for the 2027 Rugby World Cup.
Slow in coming, but ultimately the break is complete, and Barry Robson Young with try number 2 of the game, and Uganda Cranes are coming apart.
On the squad, look at that quick ball out. Johnny Kubu holds the defense, combines 3 players in that one move, and Barry Young had an overlap to use Adrian Casito, not able to touch him, and Barry Young just jogs it under the uprights for the second try.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
And Let's move on to the youth, where Agai Secondary School from Nyakach in Kisumu County will fly the Nyanza Region boys soccer flag at the National Secondary School's Term 2 ball games to be held in Kakamega County in August. Agai beat Kisumu boys by 2-0 in a hotly contested clash at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. Kobala girls from Homa Bay County will be the ladies' flag bearers in the women's football tournament. Achola Simon reports.
Buoyed by a partisan crowd, newbies Agai Secondary School from Nyakach Sub-County thumped Kisumu boys by 2-0 to clinch this year's Nyanza Region boys football title. After an evenly contested first half, Agai came out of the break a more rejuvenated and organized side that proved to be too much for Kisumu boys. Buoyed by the partisan crowd that seemed to have a bone to chew with Kisumu boys over the disqualification of Kisumu Day over age cheating, Agai ran rings around the Kisumu boys midfield in a one-sided second half. Kobala girls from Homa Bay County will carry the region's girls' football hopes as they continued with their hot winning streak that saw them thump regional giants Nyakach girls in the semi-finals before seeing off Sae girls from Homa Bay County in the finals.
Looking at the talent on show, do you have a chance in the regionals?
At the nationals, I believe we have a chance. It is going to be very competitive, but I believe one of the teams that are always being checked is Nyanza. So we are not going to disappoint. The team that we are going to bring is a team of students. So we believe we are also going to play students from other places. Because if they didn't go through the main process, we may be playing people who are not students.
In girls' sevens rugby, Sigoti girls emerged the winners. Kisumu All-Stars football team has received 30 pairs of training kits from Elud Owalo Foundation. Owalo called for strengthening of community clubs, especially in the grassroots, as a way of strengthening the conveyor belt of talent to more established teams in the Premier League and the national team.
Teams are important because they help us to identify and nurture raw talent from early enough. If we don't do that, then we'll have a lot of talent going down to waste because it is not identified early enough. So we need to revitalize these teams so that they become feeder teams to the more prominent teams in the Premier League, such as Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards.
He also wants corporates to invest more in the community clubs as opposed to starting their own clubs. Owalo, through his Elud Owalo Foundation, has donated training kits to grassroots teams in Kakamega County, Vihiga, Homa Bay, Siaya, and Bungoma counties. Achola Simon, Legends Edition, Kisumu County.
Moving on to the weekend of excitement, passion and fierce competition as top high school girls baseball teams battled it out at the Kenyan Koshin tournament held at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, where Mali Children's Home carried the day. Let's get the story from Daniel Mwenda.
The air was electric at JKUAT as 4 high school teams clashed in what is now being held as a turning point for women baseball in Kenya. Mali Children's Home proved to be the team to beat by dominating the tournament from start to finish. They kicked off their campaign with a commanding 52 win over Musoli Secondary, setting the tone for the championship run.
Game so far imekuwa poa. Tumekuwa practice for so long waiting for this game. Training nyumbani imekuwa poa, but kuna some challenges. Tunaenda shuleni, tukirudi saa zingine tutatolewa kuchelewa saa 12, so time yenye tuna train hiyo Saturday na Sunday tukitoka church.
So performance has been innovated. Actually, their ability is coming up, and also the game scores are much better than before.
In the grand finale, Muli delivered a baseball masterclass, crashing Nkaimurunya Secondary School by 21 runs to 4 by a combination of a tactical precision and raw power that earned them the top spot.
We would like to see the talent development in Africa gain ground. Kenya has taken lead, and we have other countries like South Africa that are also keen in developing women baseball. And also Uganda has women baseball, and we want to build this niche and give the girls an opportunity to play baseball just like the men.
I want to be a good player. I'm aiming higher
to go to far countries to play this baseball so that I may improve, so that I may represent my country, Kenya.
Baseball is fun. Through baseball, people learn to communicate. There's teamwork there. Without teamwork, there's nothing you can achieve. And people learn through corrections.
Early in the tournament, Nkaimoroya had secured a solid 11-2 win over Bomu Secondary, while Musoli Secondary bounced back to beat Bomu 10-4 in one of the day's close contests.
On to tennis, where the J60 Nairobi Open Junior Tennis Circuit came to an end today, with Serbian tennis player Marko Dragovic and Reddy Bendram being crowned champions in the boys and girls singles at the Nairobi club. Marko beat Ivan Makarov 7-5, 6-love in the boys singles finals, as Reddy Bendram thrashed Kashvi Suni 6-4, love 6 and 6-4 in the girls singles. The Serbian reached the final after eliminating Portuguese Lourenço Silva 7-6, 6-7, 6-1 in the semis played earlier today, while Reddy beat fellow compatriot Angel Patel 6-love and 6-2 in the girls semis. Attention now shifts to the J60 Open Junior Circuit that commences from the 14th to the 19th of July in Nairobi. Now, the Kenya Walking Football Federation has announced plans to register clubs across the counties as it prepares towards the Africa Championship slated for 2026, barely 8 months after the sport was introduced into the country. This was confirmed by the Federation President, Kerry Mwangi, during the inaugural Deaf Walking Football Championship, which was held at the Donholm Primary School Indoor Arena.
The 10 deaf players stand up for the inaugural Deaf Walking Football Championship, which was held at Donholm, Nairobi. The event, which featured players drawn from Nairobi and Nakuru counties, was aimed at increasing awareness campaign for the sport, as Kenya is gearing up towards the national registration of clubs.
Inclusivity in sports, having different abled people participate in sport. We appreciate that sports is a universal language. We appreciate that sports cuts across age, sports cuts across gender, sports even cuts across social status.
Kerry Mwangi, the Kenya Walking Football Federation president, says plans are underway to have an inaugural African Championship slated for next year.
So far, the walking football is club-based. We don't have a league structure. We have been having clubs, registering clubs in Nairobi, Mombasa, Migori, Nakuru. But all those have been able-bodied.
It feels good because she gets to improve her health, to exercise. Instead of staying home getting bored, she comes on Saturday to run, to feel like the body has become healthy.
Frederick Moki for Legends edition.
And they say no human is limited. And the Kenya national wheelchair basketball team is a living proof of that. Despite facing immense challenges from lack of funding to limited training facilities, these athletes continue to defy the odds, chasing glory and inspiring a nation. Our reporter Daniel Mwenda visited the team at the Kasarani Indoor Arena and brings us the story of their resilience, determination and hope.
In the heart of Nairobi, inside the Kasarani Indoor Arena, determination echoes louder than any cheer. This is home to Kenya National Wheelchair Basketball Team, a group of extraordinary athletes proving that strength is in the legs but in the spirit.
I usually remind them that I cannot teach them effort and I cannot teach them desire. Lazima uko unajituma kukuja kwa kiwanja.
They train hard, push limits and battle through sweat and tears, all in pursuit of a dream many have written off.
In this life, there is no giving up. You have to push and go hard or just go home.
From utotoni, I really wanted to know how people play basketball because I love the game toka utotoni.
The journey, however, has been anything but smooth. the wheelchairs are their lifeline on the court and are often second-hand or makeshift. Funding is scarce and basic essentials like training kits, specialized equipment and allowances remain a constant plea.
We actually have some wheelchairs that are for mobility, just for normal use, just general purposes. We'll try to modify them and then we give out to the counties so that they can start using them as we look ways on how we can acquire now the proper wheelchair for basketball.
So sometimes it's very hard that wakati wa mvua some gari zingine wanaona wewe ni mzigo. They will not want to carry you. So it's a challenge kutoka kwa nyumba to come to the training venue.
The coaching staff, none of whom have physical disabilities, had to learn from scratch. From wheelchair mechanics to adaptive strategies, they've immersed themselves in the world of parasport to uplift the team.
For me, success are the little achievements we do every day. Because now if I have a player who wouldn't, initially they didn't know how to balance their wheelchairs, but right now they're balancing their wheelchair, for me that's success. Because I know that I'm progressing in the right direction. If there was somebody who was not able to shoot or screen and roll, or somebody was not able to communicate, but right now they are doing it, that is success.
I made sure I learned the game, how the game is played, the rules of the game, and that is how I found myself here. Yeah, not that I designed to be here, but that is how I found myself here.
Their dream, to be given a chance to compete and excel at international events.
I try as much as possible to fly the Kenyan flag high with my teammates. So yeah, that is actually the most something we work hard to get, to win and to go further and further.
Any person with disability, I want to tell them that wheelchair basketball is a game that you enjoy in watching and you will enjoy when you're playing. So kindly come, we need you people. Usikae kwa nyumba, ukae, it's like unajihurumia. Some of us have severe disability more than you when you umekaa kwa nyumba.
But without consistent government support and sponsorship, that dream remains a distance up.
We are preparing for World Championship, and this is like a World Cup for FIFA, or rather for soccer is a World Cup. Now, wheelchair basketball Kenya has qualified for World Championship, and we qualified through ranking. We accumulated enough points for us to be in World Championship. So for our first time ever, at least for wheelchair basketball has qualified for World Championship, which is a World Cup.
The media can just come and mobilize and let people know that this game is there. Because in some areas we go and somebody asks you, people play basketball on wheelchairs. They have never seen it happen, so the game is not known.
These people are able, like there are things that they do that even me who's standing cannot be able to do on a wheelchair. So I usually say that as much as you have a disability, God gives you something unique that if you're not able to exploit it, then you look at yourself like second to somebody else.
Always remember, this life is for the living. You have to go out, enjoy yourself, live your life, just be yourself. Yeah, you have to be yourself, be inspired. Inspire someone else, tell a friend, that is what I would.
Even training at Kasarani comes with its challenges. The facility, though iconic, it's always adapted for wheelchair users.
I usually give thanks because I know that if somebody like that they do a lot of work. If you're able to wheel, dribble, pass, shoot, look up, don't you think that is an ability that not so many people have? Because like us who are walking, we can walk and sometimes it's even a challenge to pivot. But for them, they have to balance the ball, they have to balance the wheelchair, they have to look up. We expect them to score. So that is an ability that they have that not every other person has.
In a world that often sees limits, they've chosen to see possibilities. The Kenya wheelchair basketball team are saying that they'll give it all. They'll intensify their training until they make Kenya proud. For Channel 1 Sports, from Kasarani, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
You know, if you're looking for a story to warm up your heart in this chilly July weather, then that is it by Daniel Mwendwa. And it's about wheelchair basketball, Kenya qualifying for the Worlds. Kenya is the land of opportunity in sports. Now, let's move on. And Zambia will kick-start match day 3 of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations tonight at 10 p.m. against the Democratic Republic of Congo at the El Bashir Stadium in Morocco. The game will kick off at the same time as the second Group A game between hosts Morocco and Senegal, to be played at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat. And this match is going to be live on KBC Channel 1 immediately after this bulletin. And remember that the other match between involving the DR Congo is going to be on our sister station, Y254.
Women Africa Cup of Nations came to a close last night in Morocco with the 2 matches ending in 1-1 draws. South Africa played to a 1-1 draw against Zambia to remain top of Group C with 4 points, after 2 matches with Tanzania remaining third with just a point. Tanzania, who saw Elizabeth Chenge red-carded in the 84th minute of the game, were first on target in the 24th minute through Opa Clement.
Slid in here for Opa Clement.
Tanzania is winning possession. They're not just kicking the ball away when defending.
Our header comes in.
Bambanani Mane leveled for the holders in the 70th minute as the 2 sides left the Honor Stadium with a point each. Mali also played to a 1-1 draw with Ghana, who opened the score in the 6th minute through Alice Kusi, while Aissata Traore equalized for Mali 7 minutes into the second half. Match day 3 kicks off tonight with the 2 Group A games being played between Zambia versus DRC and Morocco against Senegal. KBC Channel 1 continues to televise the games live.
Fun fact, Zambia and DR Congo share a border. Morocco and Senegal have got ties in their royal families. Remember, Morocco-Senegal is on KBC Channel 1. Zambia versus Congo is on Y254 at 10 p.m. Now, Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca says that he will approach tomorrow's FIFA Club World Cup final against Paris Saint-Germain like a chess match, as his side prepares to face what he describes as the best team in the world. European champions PSG, who completed a historic treble in May by winning Ligue 1, the French Cup, and the UEFA Champions League, enter the final in New Jersey as strong favourites to lift the trophy. Despite the odds, Maresca believes Chelsea can pull off an upset by deploying a tactical and calculated approach. Chelsea will be without winger Noni Madueke, who has completed a move to English Premier League rivals Arsenal. Meanwhile, Paris Saint-Germain will miss defenders William Pacho and Lucas Hernandez due to injury. The French champions secured their spots in the final with an emphatic 4-0 win over Real Madrid on Wednesday night, while Chelsea booked their place with a solid 2-0 victory over Brazilian outfit Fluminense the night before. And that's the sport for tonight. So everything about the WAFCON match day 3, we'll be dealing with that. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for being with us. Back to Edmund Mudibo with a story about President William Ruto in Elgeyo Marakwet.
Thank you very much, Daniel. President William Ruto now says his administration will not condone lawlessness, speaking after presiding over the 9th edition of the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program in Keyo South, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Ruto accused the opposition of propagating violence in the country by using the youth, saying the Kenya Kwanza administration will not tolerate the vice. And as Timothy Kipnusu reports, here is the story.
We must speak to ourselves candidly. Hatuwezi kusema, how did we get here? We know how we got here. Political rhetoric, hate and division, tribalism and tribal rhetoric is what has gotten our country to this point. And we must do soul searching as Kenyans. Watu wakikosa kuheshimu sheria, wanafanya maandamano, wanaharibu mali ya wengine, wanachoma biashara ya wengine, wanaharibu sifa ya nchi yetu. Wazazi, zungumzeni na watoto wenu. Sisi wote kama wazazi lazima tuongee na vijana wetu, watoto wetu. Kubadilika kwa mazingira itatuletea matatizo ya kupatikana kwa chakula. Na sababu hiyo lazima sisi wote tuungane, tujumuike. Ndio sababu hiyo tunaenda kuendelea kupanda miti Kenya. Umejua tuko na mpango wa serikali wa kupanda miti bilioni 15 Kenya. Tayari tumepanda miti bilioni 1 na hiyo kazi inaendelea.
Well, that does it for our bulletin this evening. Our sign language interpreter was Byron Abuli, and a great team behind this. My name is Edmund Mudibo. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.